Tonight on Street Hospital.
I'm sorry, I got a job. I had the vomit bag that close to my mouth and I missed it. And it went...
Half a litre of vodka since 10 o'clock.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They won't let me in bars and it's bleeding.
Do not let me spoil your night.
All over New Zealand, the weekend's the time to hit the town and hit the booze.
He said he's had about a litre of vodka.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hitting it hard and each other, some party animals are getting boozed, getting hurt, and they're clogging the emergency departments.
They end up lining the corridors and trolleys, waiting to sober up.
Wellington Free Ambulance paramedics are fighting back. On Friday and Saturday nights, ambulances parked in Wellington's party zone become makeshift hospitals. At the street hospital base, paramedics treat the injured where they can, on the spot.
Thank you, Mr. Paramedic.
Typical Wellingtonians, very friendly.
Will they make a difference to the binge drinking culture in central Wellington? Can they stop the smashed and trash piling into the hospital's emergency department? And how will our paramedics cope, keeping a straight face when everyone else is off theirs?
You trying to tell with us?
After a tough couple of nights on Street Hospital last weekend and a busy week running his company, volunteer officer in charge Craig's feeling it already. With a big rugby game on in town, he's requested extra numbers. This means he's responsible for a team of young trainee medics and for frontline staffers who've signed on wanting to check out the street hospital setup.
Roger, and heading to location now.
Well, town's looking a little bit busy, actually.
So Corey and James hit the footpaths looking for anyone in trouble. The free cuppa from the Sallies is a good start, but it's going to get cold.
I'm sorry, I got a job. Thank you. We've just had a call from comms about a male who's had maybe a bit of a slash to the head, so he's got a laceration to the head. We don't know what to expect. We don't know, what his condition is, but we'll soon see when we get on the corner. Excuse me, paramedics. Is that him on the ground? We have arrived. It's opposite the Soho Cafe and Bar. Hello, mate. What's happened?
Oh, general barricade.
Your general barricade. You don't have a cut in your head or anything like that, do you?
That's the worst day, the old general barricade.
Do you have a cut on your head?
No, mate.
No? Okay. Are you okay? You don't have any pain anywhere else?
No, thank you, no.
No, that's not our patient. ORC from Corey. Can you please confirm the location of this patient with a laceration? The only patient we've got around here is a patient with a broken jandal. So we got called to a scene of a laceration.
Just confirming our location on Dixon Street.
Treated him on scene and let him go from there.
Meanwhile, a party bus packed with preloaded partygoers from a 21st is bearing down on Courtney Place. The street hospital team don't know it yet, but the bus is heading their way. Stopping right next to the street hospital base, the driver is first out and looking for help. The bus has emptied itself onto the pavement and someone has emptied their stomach inside.
There is vomit everywhere. One intoxicated male just climbing off the bus and one unconscious female.
Party bus patient 1 is totally unresponsive. According to her friends, she's only had alcohol. Using a sling, the team edges her out of the bus, but with the floor covered in puke, it's slippery and dangerous. It's a nasty, smelly start to the evening, and straight in at the deep end for street hospital first-timer Kate.
At the moment, we believe that she's got a lowered level of consciousness due to alcohol, but we're unsure until we do some further checks. Okay, lifting together on 3. One, two, three.
Allegedly consumed a reasonable amount of alcohol. She hadn't vomited, but there was a massive pool of vomit in there belonging to someone else, which actually made the scene quite slippery. We've got another patient down there with his mates that we'll have a chat with as well.
Craig finds party bus patient 2 puking over by the public toilets. He's a second candidate for the intoxication protocol. Police have asked Craig to check on yet another party bus casualty. A young girl who has tried to outrun the law but has hit a major obstacle.
Our friend got too drunk and she got arrested.
She'd done a runner and ran straight into the bus shelter, apparently.
I was dealing with a young lady up here who'd reached the liquor ban. I'd arrested her and put her in handcuffs. And while we were talking to her, she slipped the handcuffs out the back and then she legged it at about 100 miles an hour. She did a big wheelie out on the road, and then as she come down here, she did a big side step and bounced straight into the bus shelter.
They asked us to go and assess her, just make sure she hadn't hurt herself. She's perfectly fine, just a little bit upset at being arrested.
The girl will sober up in the police cells before she's allowed to go home. With party bus patient 3 sorted, Corey and Kate get the lowdown on party bus patient 1.
At least 8 wines and possibly some beers.
Yeah.
Kate's background, she's been with Wellington Ambulance for a number of years, and we don't normally see her out doing events, so it's really nice to bring them in and we get a snapshot of their world and they get a snapshot of our world.
Are you going to vomit? And grab a vomit bag.
Almost. Outside, Craig loads party bus patient 2 into the other ambulance, where Lucy begins his intoxication treatment.
13 or 14 drinks.
Yep.
Massive vomit in the bus.
Yep. So you're on a bus, a public bus, heading home?
We got a charter bus.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Did you charter the whole bus?
Oh, my mate did. That's pretty first.
Can be a big clean up in there.
The street hospital team are able to give intravenous fluids with sugar, which rehydrate the body and dilute the alcohol in the blood. It's an extreme way to sober up safely.
The bus driver's going to hose out the bus. I've been vomited on. I've been stood in the pool of vomit tonight. It's been one of those nights. Look at your face. It's rocking. 3 patients, and they just keep finding us.
Isaac and Jeff are the next to set out on foot patrol.
We're going to go for a cruise down Courtney Place just to make sure everything's all right.
Just a few metres down the road, they come across their first patient.
Maybe just grab a seat over here and we'll have a look. Young lady's taken her shoes off because of blisters and unfortunately stood in some glass with her bare feet.
Did you fall over and hit your head or anything?
No, what's that?
Just extend your foot out for me.
Put some gauze on and give it a good taping up. We'll put heaps of tape on it just to hold it.
We'll go heavy duty on the tape.
Cool.
You have your own tape cast.
Maybe just put another one around like that.
A man approaches them with news of another likely customer.
You see what's going on over the road here.
She had her finger stuck in the door, that's all.
We've just been called across to the other side of Courtney Place, outside Kitty O'Shea's. So you can feel me doing that? Does that hurt? Can't feel anything? You feel that?
Not really. Yeah, I can feel it there. Not really, no.
No. I don't think anything's broken. Possibly you might lose a nail or underwear.
Got a IV bag of fluids running through quite nicely there.
We're actually 3rd year student nurses, so.
Happens to everyone.
Should know better.
Did they taught you IVs today, did they? It's ironic, isn't it? Maybe you can just write this off, that this was just all part of the learning experience. Are you sober driver tonight, are you?
The sober friend who's come to pick up patient 1 finds that she's not his only friend at Street Hospital Base.
Who are you with? Oh, Jesus. In here. I know. Shambles. Yeah, I'm toothless. Doesn't it right anywhere?
He does. Party bus boy is taken home and the sober friend returns to collect party bus girl.
You may be a bit wobbly on your feet, remember? There we go. You're welcome.
Kate and Lucy. I don't know after tonight whether they'll do another safer city.
I had the vomit bag that close to my mouth and I missed it and it went all over the window.
Bit of a clean up for me, but that's okay. It's all part of the job.
I honestly, I couldn't do this every week. I admire you guys for doing it.
I do this every week.
Do you?
Yeah. Saturday, Sunday. I love it.
Sitting here with them, it's like...
With all traces of party bus people wiped away, Jeff and Isaac bring crushed finger girl back for treatment at the street hospital base.
I'll just turn some more lights on.
Corey and Margaret hit the streets again. Craig radios them with news of a job.
We've had a report of a patient upstairs with an asthma attack.
I'm probably going to have to start looking through cinema.
Can you run through all the cinemas and find if there's someone having an asthma attack?
As a frontline crew race to the scene, Corey and Margaret rush to a cinema complex to help locate the man who's having an asthma attack, but they can't find him.
I'm probably going to have to start looking through cinema now.
So no one's flagging you down, obviously?
No, well, it's like nothing's happened.
I only heard the tail end of the call, unfortunately, so Thorndon 1 will be outside Reading Centre pretty much now.
Okay, roger. Okay, I'm going into a movie.
All right, cheers, bye.
Can you run through all the cinemas and find if there's someone having an asthma attack? Someone's called 111 in this area. Oh, thank you. Because we're inside the Reading Centre, we don't have radio contact, so we're on our own, really. It's very frustrating not knowing where the patient is, and there's so many places to look, and where do you start? Hello, paramedics.
Hello, ambulance here. How many theatres have you got running? 10 of them.
So if they're doing the look, we'll go downstairs, talk to Thorndon, see if they know any more information.
Corey, what about the restaurant?
Right now, I'm just trying to find the other ambulance to see if they have any more information on the patient.
Margaret spots him. He's in the restaurant.
Corey, it's up here in the restaurant.
Cool.
Yeah, ambulance is already in there, the paramedics.
That's cool. I'm happy with that. That's cool.
All right, thank you.
So the frontline crew have found the patient before us.
Because they had more information.
Yeah, because they had more information. When someone calls 111 with an asthma attack, frontline is always called. So we were trying to get there before the frontline to reassure the patient before frontline arrived.
Back at base, it turns out the girl with the sore fingers had them crushed in a locked door for more than a minute.
Sorry, darling.
It's all right, it's all right. You just take your
Oh, no, I still don't want to hurt you. Can you feel that?
This one, but I can't feel.
Do you remember where it hit your fingers in the door?
I was holding onto the edge of the door and the guy closed the door.
So we've just had a review of it. Don't think it's broken. Time is the cure, unfortunately, and if it still feels worse tomorrow, we'll suggest that she goes up to the hospital to get an x-ray. I think this might be my worst bandaging job. I apologise. I'm just trying to be so careful.
I feel like I'm such a baby, man.
No, it really hurts. I've been there and done that. Just sorry that we can't take your pain away.
I was going into the bathroom, holding the door, and some guy shut the door on my fingers, and it jammed in, and I was holding there for like a minute, and I had to wait till he got out of the bathroom.
My dad's going to come pick us up.
She's gone from tears to smiles. That's a good outcome, really.
Thank you, Craig! You're a legend!
You get to deal with everybody in the public here. Doesn't matter whether they're somebody living on the street or someone very well-to-do. They all get sick and have accidents.
Corey and Margaret are back and a bit disappointed.
Did you not get much info?
No.
We had all the security guards in the mall working with us. So I was like, well, you go over there, you go over there, and we'll walk off and because.
Street hospital veteran Steph turns up late.
I'm late because I've been working all day in a bar because I'm a poor student and I need money. I bought everyone lollies and chocolate to make up for it because I also forgot my vest, so yes.
Nice head. I'll start the party. Thank you.
An injured rugby fan in an orange onesie arrives looking for a quick foot fix. No one will let him into a bar because he's leaving bloody footprints everywhere he goes.
I walked into the bar, something hurt on my foot, and I pulled a piece of glass out, pretty much. I should have worn shoes, is basically the moral of the story. That's where the glass went in? Basically just straight in there. It doesn't hurt at all. It's not bad, it won't stop bleeding. They won't let me in bars if it's bleeding.
Is that it?
That's it. It just won't stop bleeding.
Oh, okay.
It's just like, it's a thick, it's a gash like that.
It's quite thick, so it's gone through the thick center. Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, no shit.
Do you want to just cut that off?
They encourage him to go home and put his foot up, but this young rugby fan is made of sterner stuff than that.
I'm English, bro. I may have lived there for 6 years, but I'm still English.
James and Corey set off on what they hope will be their last foot patrol of the night. But down at the far end of the party zone, they meet a worried young man.
Safest cities, Corey to Craig. We've just been alerted by a member of the public that there is a man at the top of Dixon Street intersection with a suspected broken ankle.
Hey, Connor, how's it going?
Not so good.
No, not so good. That looks pretty swollen. All right, on the toes. Let's see what you like on your feet, because I can't feel anything in there that's broken, but it's quite swollen up. And see if you can put any weight on it. How's that doing?
That's good.
Real painful? That's good.
Painful,
yeah, have a sit back down then.
We're at the corner of Dixon and Cuba.
There's no way the young rugby fan can walk, so Jeff heads down to collect him.
He stepped on the edge of the gutter and his ankle just kind of tipped and it made a really loud noise.
It's like when you cook bacon and you cook it real, like, you turn it to crackle and it just starts cracking. That was what my ankle sounded like. Here we go. Here's the big boys now.
That's it. He's going down to our base down the other end, where a frontline ambulance will come and take him up to hospital.
To the city, basically.
You're an Indian.
Chuck, cut.
Back at base, a man has reported a teenage girl collapsed on the pavement just across the road. The girl has gone from being drunk to suffering from alcohol poisoning and is in a very bad way. With a huge number of rugby fans letting off steam and much more, Wellington's Party Central is going off. But not everywhere. Street hospital paramedics Craig and Mel are dealing with a girl who has a bad case of alcohol poisoning. Craig goes for a trolley while Mel pulls the girl's head out of her vomit.
Half a litre of vodka since 10 o'clock, so it's, I don't know, sometime after 1. Yeah, half a litre of vodka. I might not be feeling that well either.
Jeff returns in the other ambulance with the fractured foot patient.
So this is commonly known as laughing gas, called Intox. It's not designed to take the pain away, but it just takes your mind off it.
What have you done?
Yeah.
Is it alright if I have a look? I'm going to touch your toes. Are you particularly ticklish? Alright. When I touch here, does it feel the same when I touch here?
Do that side again? Yeah, no, it's the same.
Just like quite localised swelling.
Yeah, we gotta get some of this.
There's
no more camera.
Connor has been out tonight and has potentially broken his ankle. We've got him on some pain relief. We're splinting his leg, which is also pain relief, and we'll go from there.
This lady is a legend. Any hospital should employ this lady. She's fantastic. Harvard, I hope you're listening. Stephen Connor for life.
In hospital, what's going to happen is they're going to cut this straight off, and they're going to they're going to cut your foot off.
Are you joking? Holy shit! She's scared the shit out of
They're going to cut this splint off, and they'll X-ray you. Alright?
A frontline ambulance arrives to take the hobbling but happy footy fan to hospital.
I'm his younger brother. And there he is. Look at the champion.
Do not let me spoil your night, okay?
I won't spoil his night, I promise. I promise that.
As the frontline ambulance sets off, Craig updates the friend of the girl found lying in her own vomit.
It's Craig from the ambulance. She's at the stage now where she could go home with you.
Come on, sit up for us. Come on. Right, up. That's it, that's it. How are you feeling? Pretty rotten. You going to wake up for us and so she can take you home?
Not bringing
It's not really bringing anything up. If she's going to be continually retching, we'll have to take her up to ED.
Has she been like this the whole time?
No, not the whole time. For the most part, she's been asleep.
They decide that the girl is still too sick to go home. It's the end of a long night. Jeff drives the girl through to the emergency department on the way back to Street Hospital's Newtown base. One last patient turns up at the street hospital base. He's been getting chest pains on and off all night.
Use it for emergencies here.
Well, I couldn't imagine a potential bigger emergency than you all of a sudden developing into cardiac. Yeah.
You're making me scared now.
Well, then let's come and take some of that risk away.
So I don't feel...
Okay. How about come in and we'll do some assessments? That's seriously what we're here for.
All right then.
Okay.
Just have a seat there.
Oh no, I get them every now and then.
What's every now and again?
Oh, maybe once a week or fortnight sort of thing.
And how old are you, Jim?
I'm only 60.
65.
If you do this, I'm going to have to give you both a person. I make these and sell them, bro. So you two can have one each.
37.
Is that all good?
Yeah.
There's nothing obviously wrong with you. However, your blood pressure's a bit high and you have had chest pain that is unusual for you.
Craig and Corey request a passing ambulance to stop by to give Jim's heart a thorough checkup.
So 10 seconds, nice and still and relaxed.
So the result is the people who have paid the big bucks have checked him out and he's looking good from a cardio point of view.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
They are bloody awesome.
I've seen the fun side and the dirty side of Courtenay Place, but that could be any city anywhere in the world. It's like a family when you work in an emergency service, and you may not work on the same shifts, and there may be staff who you won't see from one year's end to another, but you wear the badge of Wellington Free Ambulance, so you're part of the family.